Okay, microphones, please. It is Tuesday, June the 16th. This is Finance, Legal, Audit Committee. Roll call, please.
Grove. Rolfs.
Here.
Pence.
Here.
Peterson.
Present.
Miller.
Here.
DeWitt.
Here.
Mensch.
Here.
Faragher.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
We have no public. Okay, next up is Monty Andrews with the Tri-County Transportation. If you come up to the podium, state who you are and who you're with.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. Monty Andrews. I am the Program Compliance Oversight Monitor, or PCOM, for rural transportation for Livingston, Iroquois, and Ford County. A brief history to kind of bring everyone up to speed. Up until July 1st of last year, McLean County was the grant recipient of the federal and state money for rural transportation for not only our 3 counties and McLean County. There may have been one more, is Kankakee County as well. The state came in about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and McLean County had their own issues going on, and they decided to separate grant recipients and asked Livingston County, with Pontiac being the largest city of our 3 counties, to if they wanted to be the grant recipient for the 3 counties, and we were all separated. Kankakee went their own way, McLean went their own way, and our 3 counties. And that was when I was hired to be the Program Compliance Oversight Monitor. As everyone knows, Showbus was the rural public carrier in Iroquois County for many years, I believe since 1990-ish or so, for many years. And once we took over as the grant recipient, we kind of started looking into Showbus's operations and finances, and didn't really like what we saw. Part of that was McLean County worries primarily about Bloomington Normal, and their rural part of their county, they just had put on kind of autopilot with Showbus, and they were allowed to kind of fend for their own devices and so forth. Anyway, to make a long story short, we decided to end our contract with Showbus at that time, and that would be for all 3 counties. Ford County had already decided themselves independently to go with Chris Rural Mass Transit out of Danville. Chris served the rural parts of Vermilion County, and Danville Mass Transit takes care of the city itself. Well, that was going okay, and when we decided to unhook from Showbus in September of last year, Chris said, we'll step up and take over Iroquois County as well. And they did for a brief time. And I'll get to the part where it concerns the Watseka in particular. But at the time, as everyone probably realized, Showbus had always had a around town or a limited stop route in the city of Watseka for many years. And people really got used to that. They enjoyed that, and it was a great convenience. The problem was Showbus had arranged that in most of the other cities, Pontiac, for example, Showbus had an around town route, but they needed, and Adina will explain the matching funds for the downstate assistance program that Illinois provides as part of our overall funding. Pontiac had always chipped in a certain amount per month to help pay for the operations of that around town route. Showbus here in Watseka was kind of providing the around town route off the back of the ARC. The ARC had a contract with Showbus to provide a certain amount of rides in the morning and then bring the same clients home in the afternoon. They had a bus in Watseka, so they said, we'll just kind of go around town and pick up people and do the same routes every day in between that pickup and drop off time. And that's why their operation, and not only that, the vast majority of rides for the amount of money that was allotted Showbus for Iroquois County originated in Watseka. The vast majority of their rides in Iroquois County were point A to point B in the city of Watseka. So their overall funding and the contract with the ARC helped pay for that around town route. So on January 2nd, I woke up to have a Ford County board member tell me, Chris has been shut down. The state of Illinois, IDOT, as helpful and as wonderful as they have been to our tri-county program, didn't tell us that they were shutting Chris Rural Mass Transit down. And it was from severe financial mismanagement on the Vermilion County side. They had went out over their skis financially and owed a bank a lot of money. We didn't even know that because our dealings with Chris and the finances were done a different way than Vermilion County. So everything we saw with them was above board, but here we didn't even realize they had some severe financial crisis going on. And consequently, the state shut them down just like that. So Iroquois County and Watseka are suddenly without any transportation. So Futures Unlimited, I'll give a little history, has been a disabled adult juggernaut in Pontiac and Livingston County for 50 years. She'll tell you all the services they provide. And they had their own fleet of vehicles already. So they had a lot of overlapping routes with Showbus anyway. So in Livingston County, Future stepped up and started almost immediately to take over the public transportation side of it in Livingston. And when Chris went away, Ford County's right next to Livingston, and it doesn't have that many requests for rides because it's sparsely populated. They were able to handle the rides requested in Ford County. Once Chris went away in Watseka and Iroquois County, that was a little tougher deal, and because it's an hour from Pontiac to here. But Futures over these last months have steadily increased their amount of ride requests and the ability to take people everywhere within the county. We kind of prioritized some dialysis patients here in Watseka that needed to go to Kankakee. They were prioritized first, and then medical appointments. And now we're at a point where once or twice a month, there's a contingent of about 8 senior citizens that call me all the time and want that once a month trip around town to Burkott's and Walmart and so forth. And they've been very accommodating in doing that. So I'll let Adina explain the funding part. What we need right now is drivers. We have vehicles. We have our own facility here that Showbus was renting from Murray Schaumburg. It's an 8-bay garage. We have the vehicles to put in there, up to 8. We probably would only need 4 to start with or so. But it's there, we pay rent on it, and we plan to keep that. And we have a great relationship with Murray as well. So that's where we're at right now, and I'll turn it over to Adina, pending any questions. Okay.
Thanks, Monty.
Good afternoon. I am Adina Fox. I have been with Futures Unlimited for 25 years. I am the Assistant Executive Director. I have many titles. We're a not-for-profit. Assistant Executive Director, CFO there currently. I have been involved in our transportation system for the 25 years I've been there because it's a requirement. We are similar to Arc of Iroquois. Basically, a lot of our programs are exactly the same. And we were in that same boat as them when Showbus left. Showbus was actually providing routes for our individuals with disabilities. They were providing 3 of our routes. So when I got the call, it was, well, we've got to do something. So literally I drove a route for 3 months until I got drivers. And then realized quickly that all the trips we were doing was the same trips that Showbus was doing, so we were kind of duplicating services. So that's how kind of we got started. We started with 29 vehicles. I think we've acquired 7 more now from the county. So we have a fleet of 36, and there'll be some more coming. We're taking over a couple other companies out of Ford County coming July 1st. So we'll have a few more minivans in our fleet. But one of our biggest things, like Monty said, is the Iroquois, and we realize that our biggest need is drivers. We have the buses, we have the whole plan in place. Like, I just looked for April, when we officially took over for Iroquois County, first part of April, we've done 267 trips in the county. When we first kind of started to help with that back in January, I guess it was, January, February, you said, we were doing maybe 12, 20, it was going up. But we're kind of averaging 150, getting close to 150 trips a month. Obviously, we'd love to do more. One of the ways we do that, obviously drivers, but we require the funding that we get from the fed. There's two different funding pots that come from for rural public transportation. It's different than what you see as mass transit. It's rural public transportation. So the funding comes from a 5311 program that's from the federal government, and there's a small portion that comes from that. The rest of it is from the downstate operating assistance program that comes out of Springfield. But in order for us to have access to all of those funds, to maximize what we can do and the services we can provide, we have to have matching. So we're required to have a 20% matching for everything that we do. In each county that we do, there's a different matching, obviously, because they go by population, not sizes. So each county has a different amount that they have to do. I can tell you Livingston County's matching is $124,000 that we have to come up with. In Iroquois County, we have to come up with $94,300 a year for matching in order for us to maximize what we can do for our services.
You said 94,000?
$94,300.
300. Okay.
Yep. And there's many ways we can get that matching. One of them is contracts. We do, like Monty mentioned, we do have, the city of Pontiac does off with our in-town route loop we do there. They're actually increasing it for us this starting in July, our new fiscal year. But they provide funds for us for that, but the funds can come through the passenger fees. So our passenger fees, I know are lower than what was offered. I think Showbus was actually free, but she had different grants, and I'm not exactly sure where all their funding came from. Chris was charging a little more. Ours is, if you're within your county and you stay within your county, we charge $2 for the entire day. So no matter where you go, you can go on 15 different trips throughout the day. It's $2. That's all we ask. And that's a requirement of 5311 FTA funding, is that we have to charge passenger fees. And then if you leave the county, so if you start within Iroquois and you go outside of the county, it's $5 for the entire day, for wherever that is. So passenger fees are one way we get the funding. Medical trips, we do, the majority of our trips, I would say, I was talking to our director of transportation earlier today, we probably 80% of our trips that we do, the majority in Iroquois County is closer, probably 95% actually, that we're doing right now. But between the three counties, it's about 80% are all medical that we take. And we have gone we've gone to Chicago, Champaign, Peoria, everywhere, Bloomington several times, Kankakee, of course, not out of state. Not doing that, but yeah. We've been asked if we take people to the Chicago Cubs game, but we're not doing that either, for $5. I'm like, that's not quite what we're here for. But we can provide through a state-funded MCO, managed care organization. It's ran where all of the Medicaid clients that are on any kind of managed care, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Meridian, Molina, if anyone is on those, we can actually bill the state for that, and they pay us.
Okay.
They pay us a portion to go on the, like a one-way trip's $20 there, $20 back, and then plus we get mileage on that. So that counts also towards our matching grant.
Okay.
So that's very helpful with those, especially we call it non-emergency medical transportation.
Right, right.
So that's where the majority of our matching does come from. It also comes from contracts. So like Futures themselves had a contract with Showbus. And so what they did for us was matching for them. One of our goals here is, I know in talks that we've had with Monty, ARC needs that back. They've been kind of going along as they can, but that is one of our big goals because we live the exact same that they do every day. We understand what that's like. Right. So once we get drivers, my first driver, full-time driver I'm going to reach out to ARC, and that's where they're going to go. I want them to work for ARC and take care of them. And then WorkSource also, I believe, had a contract for that, to take people to work. So that's another one that we want to work with.
The county's probation office.
And then the probation office has been reaching out. So we've got those lined up, once I have people to drive all the vehicles we have. So those all count too as contracts for the matching grant. Obviously donations, anything from the community foundations, United Ways, those kinds of things, those all count towards that. And then starting in July, there's a new FTA regulation that they approved that advertising revenues count. So like if somebody wanted to put, a realtor wanted to put their face on the side of a bus and we charge them for that, that also counts as matching.
Okay.
So that's kind of new, which we haven't quite delved into all of that yet. But those are the different ways we can get our matching grants. Our expenses and the way we're kind of funded, we are funded by a revenue service hour. So the minute my drivers do a pre-trip inspection to the minute they get back on the post-trip, that whole entire time is counted, and then we get paid a dollar amount for that per hour. And then we also get reimbursed for our fuel and our repairs and maintenance, which everybody knows the fuel right now, so that's very helpful. Although it does limit some other things we can do. And then everything else kind of, you have to back into it, but everything else, like the salaries and the benefits and the background checks, all that fits into that service hour that we get. So that is kind of how everything operates. Did I miss anything, Monty?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
You said 94,000 in Iroquois County.
Yes.
Does Iroquois County give you any portion of that, at the Iroquois County?
The Iroquois County themselves? Not that I'm aware of. Not yet.
You're not getting
I know
it?
there's been conversations. They have, so with PCOM, we have a Tri-County Rural Transportation Committee. Did I say that right? That has 2 county board members from each county that sit on that. So Iroquois has 2 county board members that do sit on the Rural Transit Committee, and they're very active and very vocal about what the needs are. So we've been trying as much as we can, and yeah, we keep increasing. I know the ridership, and it's been kind of great with the dialysis company that's out of Kankakee. They've realized that we're bringing people in, and other individuals from Watseka. They live maybe a little bit outside of Watseka, but they realized that they needed our transportation as well. So they've changed all of their schedules around those individuals, so all 3 of them can go at the same time. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we take 3 individuals from Watseka, 2 from Watseka, and 1 I think that lives like 3 or 4 miles outside of Watseka. And we take them to.
You're
the
currently
ground.
not getting any funding from Iroquois County?
No.
Okay,
We're not really getting anything right now from Iroquois County.
okay.
And have you met
Besides
with the
our
county?
revenue service hour from Livingston County.
Was
at this
the
point.
ARC giving you anything?
No, they're on our list to call and reach out, but we obviously, until we are able to provide that service, we,
indicated that they're more than happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They would start all that back up, the same they did with Showbus, and so would WorkSource and Option, where's Options?
Yeah.
Options
It's
has
in
reached out, I
Kankakee.
can't remember, yeah.
Options is Kankakee.
There's an
There's a Watseka.
there's an
office.
office.
Okay, there was one that has
Yeah.
reached out to us for bus tokens and things like that,
Yeah, there's
so
Watseka.
I think it was Watseka.
Abra and Sheldon, did they co-op with the ARC here?
That I'm not sure.
I mean, they have some silos and stuff like that.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
Sheldon.
I mean, we have all that, yeah, we have, in Pontiac, we have those same, and we take people to work. We have almost, I think, all the same programs that they do. Maybe a few more.
I will back up and say that as far as the county, the probation office they're willing to throw in for sure. That's the one entity within the county that is willing to throw in.
Livingston County does provide, but what they're providing is Monty. So they pay without using any kind of FTA funds. They're paying actually for Monty's salary because it's a requirement to have that. And that is literally coming straight out of Monty, which counts towards our matching grant in Livingston County. So,
Okay.
I mean, the service you guys provide is great, and I know there's a lot of people that use it. So, but I guess maybe I'm missing something, but to me, this sounds like a county discussion, that you should be meeting with the county, because you need the 94,300 match from the county. And if we as a city need to contribute, then that's a discussion we should have with the county, is they're looking for a percentage based on our population. But
What
am I
we're
wrong that
we're
this
talking
should
about
be?
is having another, like having a loop route like we do for Village of White has one in Livingston County, and the city of Pontiac has one in Pontiac. So we do like a deviated fixed route is what it's called. It's not exactly a fixed route. It's a
you'll-
deviated fixed route. So we will be in Watseka just doing a route within Watseka.
Okay, so you're looking for,
That's where we're looking for the matching, not necessarily the whole entire amount, but just something to help out with as a
Okay.
contract for that loop route.
so what are
in
you
town.
looking for from us on that then?
You had mentioned something. 600 a month? It was 600 a month. Yeah.
And this is to provide for a driver? Is that
That's-
what the, is that what the
That's,
600?
well, one, to reach our matching, but yeah, to help pay for the drivers and
So 600 a month would provide a driver?
if
one-
we can
just
get,
one
well, we
driver?
would still have to get the driver, but that would help assist to cover the costs, yeah.
And that goes towards that 94,000. So that 7,200 would go
Yes,
towards
would
that
go towards that
94,000.
94. Yeah, and then the Arc of Iroquois contract, the work source contract, the options, the parole, all of those added together, including the non-emergency medical money we get, all that goes in, or any kind of, there's a community foundation, those kinds of things all add together to get
So
to
that would get
point.
that full service or semi-service back into our community of Watseka for 7,200 a year.
Yep.
I mean, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's what we're
simple
asking.
discussion
Yeah,
for
I was giving
20
you the
minutes. I'm
overall,
sorry,
but
but-
why we're here
Yeah,
is for
I-
that, yes.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just
asking
waiting
for
for
that.
like, you know,
Yeah,
what are you asking from us?
Yes.
okay.
yes.
Then
think-
So, you know, the buses and all the other costs involved, the big costs are already taken care of. They're not putting it on, we don't have to pay for the buses and the maintenance and all that stuff. They're already providing that. All they're asking for is some help with the
To get us
salary,
matching.
to get some drivers.
And when do you want to start this? Oh, I'm sorry to step on
As
you.
soon as we can find a
Right.
driver. I mean, honestly, we're really,
I'm just going to catch them right after here. Yes, I do.
I was gonna say.
Have to have
No, like I know
should
Arc
say-
of Iroquois, if they're like us, Monty has flyers.
Okay.
Arc of Iroquois, if they're like us, they would need a Super Duty vehicle, which requires a Class B CDL license.
I have a Class A.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
You might have to get your passenger endorsement, but we can do that. But I would like to start them first, and then obviously, kind of like what Showbus was doing. I know from what I've heard from Monty, they operate the exact same as us. We have a morning route that comes in and brings them to Futures, and then at the afternoon, they take them all home. And then there's kind of the dead area in between. That would be that route that we would start up in Watseka.
And if the service cannot be provided, so if we're paying you the 600 a month that you're asking for,
Well, I
requesting.
wouldn't even ask for it until we get it started. Okay. Yeah.
And once you start and 3 months down, you lose your driver, you have no service, do we stop the,
We
Or you
don't
can-
do that.
Okay.
That's not something we would put a different driver, we would pull a driver from somewhere to do that.
okay.
Yeah, because once we start, that's why
Once you start the
we've been kind
service-
of taking it slower than most because I don't believe in like starting a service and then doing that. It's happened way
Right.
too many times to
So there'll
Iroquois
be a
County.
contract written up. then.
Yeah, there would definitely be, there's a contract that's involved.
Okay. Then I would say share the contract with us and we can talk about it more amongst the team and go from there.
Yeah. Yep, sounds good.
And also, like you said, it'd be 2-3 months from now. So
Yeah.
there would be time to.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Would
And-
it be one designated vehicle for the Watseka route that we could put a logo on the, and I only ask this just so residents understand that, you know, Watseka is, contributing and committed to the bus
Could be, yeah. I mean, that could be
transportation
added
here.
as part of the advertising revenue, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
our logos are on the bus, on the vehicles, but I mean, even in Ford, it was a little people trying to get used to seeing our logos versus Chris
There
or,
would be bus stop signs also wherever, and that's another thing.
we have to figure out what those stops
There
are.
There is some signs
Still
up.
signs up.
Is there?
The library,
Yeah.
Walmart,
Okay.
CVS.
Showbus
and-
signs.
Dollar
Yeah.
General.
Just
Yeah.
Watseka's been criticized, even though we weren't part of the show bus, it was more of a county, state,
Yeah.
whatever.
Pontiac was the same way.
So I feel like, you know, if Watseka's gonna contribute toward this, and it sounds like, you know, it's a really good thing for everybody's sake. I think it'd go over well for the residents here to understand that Watseka is, you know.
Participating,
here,
Yeah.
but-
contributing.
I have a question.
The biggest advantage of having a set around town route is that ability of people to just go to the bus stop.
Yeah.
Whereas we'll always be the 24-hour or more notice of, hey, I
On
need a
demand.
ride from point A to point B,
Yeah.
on-demand service. You know, even if it's from east side of Watseka to the west side of Watseka, that'll always still exist. But the advantage is, especially for business owners, is to have that ability of more people to
Yeah.
just show up at a stop and get on.
Well, because there's always those with limited mobility that aren't gonna make it to a bus stop.
No.
They can still call 24 hours in advance and we make sure our dispatch will get them picked up. I mean, that's why we call it a deviated fixed route a lot of times. So we could have that route where there's plenty of stops. And if somebody's got to veer off that route a couple blocks to pick somebody up, they're gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
That's how we operate, so.
I do have a question.
Yes.
How long does you think once you start, hiring the driver, how long does it take for you to find one in our county?
To train them and
Drive.
get them over here?
Yeah,
Our trainings usually last about a week and a half to 2. I mean, if they have their CDL, that's even faster. But to get their CDL, that does take a while. So we would still train them within that week and a half. It's all FTA regulations we have to do. We're certified to all that. I would put them in place over here, but they wouldn't be able to drive the super. They'd have to drive a medium duty. So it might take a few trips to get where they need to go, depending on the ridership. But then once they got their CDL, we'd switch it to the super. So the trips were a lot faster.
okay.
Yeah.
So from how long do you think that from now to the time frame that you will be hiring one, how long is that time frame?
Well, we've kind of been hurt a little bit by our predecessors and what they used to pay drivers, which of course then led to the financial mismanagement, I believe, of some of them, of what they were paying. Because, yeah, we have a different pay scale.
Okay.
So I have had show bus drivers and Chris drivers apply, but the minute they find out what we're paying, they're like, yeah, I'm like, well, okay, good luck.
Okay.
I mean,
Service suffered greatly
Yeah, yeah.
because they were spending more money on
yeah, so when you spend more money on the salaries, that comes down from the revenue, so then you can't provide the service. We'd
Right.
rather be a decent competitive wage and provide more service to people.
Okay.
Okay, we'll discuss this. Thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll hopefully come up with some answers and some thoughts here. We have a full council meeting at the last Tuesday of the month, so maybe we can come up with something by then, or if not, it's going to be a
Would
few
you
more
like a
weeks
copy
after.
of like a sample contract that we could
Yeah.
send over?
Yes.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah, we can have, Alina's got them, so I'll have her, yeah. That will
Do
work.
you have my email address, Monty? Sure do. Okay, just email me the sample contract and we'll get it looked over.
Okay, sounds good.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, next up is, we had talked to two different lock people for changing the locks at the depot and getting the changes that we wanted to make there. We only got one bid back. And there was, y'all got a copy of the list of what's to be done. The total is $1,870 for lock changes and putting some industrial locks on instead, right? A lot of them are, I guess, residential.
What's
Some of them are
there,
residential
what's there
locks
are
and-
mostly residential, yeah. He's
So we're
got
gonna
grade
kinda-
1 commercial, which is a heavy duty.
Put more heavy-duty locks and stuff on there, so that's why you see commercial locks, commercial levers.
And then it would be keyed for the couple of different units to access the doors to get into the building, and then
Yeah.
the chamber would have, would be keyed separately, and the railroad would be keyed separately.
So are these all keyed and no keypads?
No keypads yet.
That's-
You don't want to do any keypads, so
We don't
people
have,
renting it, they can just get a code.
we're not gonna do that yet.
Well, we're not, this is for upstairs. in the
This is just for
depot.
upstairs.
Yeah.
We're not gonna change downstairs locks yet.
Okay.
And Brady Marchino is the provider?
That's correct.
So you used to work for,
The,
Worked for Burt
for
Caper.
Burt,
for a
Yeah.
that's
while.
what I thought,
Yes.
yeah.
the lock.
And then Bert moved in,
Yeah,
so
Wisconsin.
he's kind of starting on his own.
Okay.
He is actually technically working at Plum Mart during the day,
Mm,
and
yeah.
then he's gonna do this in the afternoons, late afternoons and evenings and stuff like that.
Okay.
If you
I
needed a
think he
key
would be a
cut.
good entrepreneur for the lock business.
He has his key machine and stuff there at Plum Mart if someone needed a key cut or anything like that. So, I mean, he'd be available for service like that.
Okay, any more thoughts here? I need a motion in a second if we approve it.
Shall move.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Fairgree,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
DeWitt,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Peterson,
Yes.
Pence,
Yes.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Mayor,
Yes.
roll call carried.
Next up is the cleaning service at the depot. Y'all have a copy of the quote for that. It's the same lady that does the city hall. Same company that does city hall. So if there's no questions about that, I need a motion in a second for approval.
I'll make the motion.
Is,
You got two separate ones here,
I have
Benny.
a question. Is there anybody out of Watseka who can do this? Just to support our Watseka members?
I don't know that we,
I don't know,
I don't know if there's cleaning service or not. I'm just,
Penny. Chrissy does a really good job. She does us, she does the library.
sure.
I don't know of any that's been brought to our attention.
You got two different ones here. One's for the deep cleaning to start with, and then the other one, which is a one-time thing, and then the other one is for the spruce up every month.
Do we want to hold and see if we have a local provider? What's your thoughts, Jeff?
I think they're hard to find.
Yeah, I believe it too. I just didn't, so I just want to ask, is there anybody local that, a business? I mean, I think people do it on the side, but I don't know if there's any local actual business that does it.
Chrissy is licensed and insured and bonded.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. She does some banks too in Gilman, I know.
I mean, I'm fine with continuing. Is this a 1 year or so, or just month to month?
This is an initials, the initial quote for 165 is the first time that she's there, she does everything,
cleaning.
extra cleaning.
Then
Then after that, then it's a $50 a month cleaning fee.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, I mean, I would say continue at the moment. If there's a cleaning service in our town that we'd like to evaluate, then I think we should be open to that since it is our community.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Yes.
If someone wants to come out and quote the services, we're certainly welcome to look at service.
Yep.
All right, we have two quotes here.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you doing Charlie made a motion. I don't have a second.
I will second.
Okay,
Which one is he motioning, Charlie?
I'll do both of them.
okay,
Or if you want one at a time, that's fine.
Can you do them both at the same time?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think so.
Motion to approve them both? Okay.
Okay, so the motion to approve two quotes.
Rolf's,
The second,
Quotes.
we're approving two quotes, one for the first initial and then the monthly service. Okay, roll call, please.
Rolf's,
Aye.
Pence,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Bergery,
Aye.
Mensch,
Yes.
Miller,
Aye.
DeWitt,
Yes.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Next up is the treasurer's report. Everybody saw that. My only comment on it was, again, the park fund has the negative balance because of all the oscillated equipment coming in, and it will continue that way until we're completed with that project. I need a motion and a second for approval for the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Rolf's,
Aye.
Bergery,
Aye.
Pence,
Aye.
Mensch, Peterson,
Yes.
DeWitt,
Yes.
Miller,
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Next up is, we had our computer service company, Advanced Computer. Their request also was that we have the latest computers that can handle the cybersecurity software and so on that's needed for keeping us safe and sound. So they went through and did a inventory of all of our equipment and what's older and what's needed to replace and be
It's a
updated.
different one.
This is the quote that we got.
We don't have that.
I don't have.
I don't know that
Looks
I
like
got
this.
that out. I don't think I got that out to everybody, Benny.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I can pass it around.
Yeah.
It's, and I guess we can hold if you want to. I guess we didn't get everybody to see it ahead of time.
I didn't. I ran out of time.
Mine too. Advanced Computer, I believe they need to replace 4 or 5 computers between Kathy's office and PD.
I know that the computer that Kendra does the key cards on is extremely old. Might be a 2007.
Okay.
So,
So none of them are supporting Windows 11, which in October they had to be up to grade for that. Nothing's been updated since then.
yeah, all except for that computer that she does her key cards on, that does not support Windows 11. The rest of ours do, but they're at the end of life.
Got
They
it.
suggest that computers be updated every 4 to 5 years before they start to have trouble.
Right.
So there's several in the building that are at that age limit.
Okay.
What's the total about on that, Yami?
$7,494.
That's for all the computers?
Yeah,
6 of them, right?
six of
Six
them.
computers, plus the installation and software.
Oh, that's the installation and everything.
They're Lenovo ThinkPad, they're Lenovo computers, which I mean, I know C&G pushes those out. They're pretty strong computers, and they're $900 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus they're 21, I think it said 100 for the installation.
Yeah.
So,
I'll get everybody a copy of that and put it in your boxes for Tuesday.
So $74.94 is the total, correct?
Yes.
So you want to vote on it tonight, or you want to wait till Tuesday?
Well, it's up to you guys if you want to see the details about what equipment it is, and
I guess we can vote it tonight. I don't care.
you want to, okay, pass it down here so the guys can see it.
It's all Greek to me anyway.
Y'all want to see the equipment? There it is.
They pass it back this way when they're done.
This other paper is the evaluation that they did, and all of our equipment, and this is,
I just skimmed it.
yeah,
So the computers that these are replacing are all gonna be pretty much gone soon,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He says printer replacement. We don't need to do that since we changed to your,
I just got a new updated
did
printer.
that.
2 of them now.
Yeah.
Mine are all updated. You can take that off of there,
okay.
those printers.
yeah.
I thought we changed that with your DTI. That's all on there. Or that's a different printer.
That's a different printer.
Yeah, these printers are for the water bills
Bills.
and,
Oh, yeah.
So
The
then
one by your
that
desk.
takes it down to 53.94.
Could be, yeah. 53.94.
Yeah.
with what?
Taking that printer off that I just got, he says takes it
Oh,
53.94.
because we already purchased the printer, so that can
Yep.
come off.
Yeah,
So
And
the
then
total is what?
essentially, that total then gets split amongst the police and the city and the,
Yeah.
is that him?
No.
Works too?
no.
Does
The
he need-
majority of those are,
You use computers in your,
Yeah,
Okay.
we're updated already.
You
It's
got
on
the
top
first
of it.
hand.
How about Eric's?
no,
Yeah.
his is fine. The
Yeah,
only one that needs to be changed on my end of the building is my computer where I sit. Eric's is okay. The rest of those are down at the PD. Theirs is really old.
So it's mostly the police department, yeah.
But I think there is a line item in the 140 account for,
IT updates?
that could be taken out of that.
I mean, I would say if we budgeted for IT updates, then we should consider it. If we have not, then if
We
we
did.
can table it for a bit, then
we did,
we did? Okay,
we did. I don't have the budget in front of me, but
that's fine. But it's
we
budgeted in there,
absolutely did.
so.
So since the printer would be removed, we're back to 53.94. Is that what you're,
That's what Brandon said.
so, because we already purchased, so the new amount's gonna be 53.94 because we already purchased the printers.
Okay, shall move.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
roll call, please.
Peterson,
Yes.
Pence,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
DeWitt,
Yes.
Rolfs,
Yes.
Bro. Oh, sorry, he's gone. Bergery,
Yes.
Mensch,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Good thing he didn't answer.
We have no transfers this month. And I cannot think of anything else in finance for this month.
This municipal messaging, is this a part of this meeting or the next? I just have it all in the same packet. That's what I'm,
That's for the 2 signs that are putting up. Benny wanted me to give everybody.
so does this fall in this meeting or is it the next?
It's just
It
It's just information.
information.
Information for you.
Okay,
It's the type of information that's gonna be on the signs
okay,
and what's normal that you're gonna see.
okay.
Those will be up, this week. One of them will be completed and operational, and then, the following week after this week, it'll be the second one be operational. They will be up and operational before July 1st, or
Okay. Sounds
July
good.
1st, yeah.
Good.
So you will see some of that action soon. Okay, if there's nothing else for finance, legal, and audit, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Public Works. Call to order.
Beargree,
Here.
Mensch, DeWitt,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Peterson,
Yes.
Pence,
Present.
Bro, Rolfs,
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
I don't see any public comment or anybody here for the public comment. So, Christopher Kennedy, give us your name and who you represent.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christopher Kennedy with Sugar Creek Trading Company. And just to keep this stuff quick and short, Angelina and I have been talking for a while about doing a community gardens project on a lot of the empty lots here in town, starting with just a small pilot program, maybe on just 1 or 2 lots, planting pumpkins, something that can be done fairly easily and is also not something that has to be consumed. And in the case that we like to get soil tests for the lot we do, and then eventually as the project scales, if it can, we would like to, get soil tests for all the lots, and so that can determine how long we have to wait before we can plant something that's edible. This would be our responsibility. I think federal Rule 44 CFR 80.919 says that these DNR lots where we can't build anything can still grow food as long as there's no permanent structure built. I know, Benny, we've talked a little bit about it on the walks and whatnot. But ideally, this would be something that, like I said, just starts as 1 lot. You guys can pick, we can pick, whatever. It doesn't, necessarily matter. But we would like to eventually scale it to not only take the burden of mowing these empty lots off the city, but also maybe one day, produce food for the community and abroad, whether we sell that or however we do that. But just for now, we'd like to bring the idea to you, everybody, and see where we can go from there. We've got some people that are either donating pumpkin seeds, or we can find them online for fairly cheap, or whatever. It would be our responsibility. The reason I'm trying to keep this short is I got a whole list of documents and pages and stuff like that of trying to prepare all this, and I'm happy to send it to all of you if you're interested. But that, in a nutshell, is what all it is. So.
Chris kind of brought this up during the Watseka Walks activities, and talking about what can we do with these lots other than mow them. And we thought, well, the community garden thing would be great. The community garden idea is great as long as it's maintained and as long as it's cared for. I know a lot of times it's great in the beginning, and then all of a sudden people don't care about it anymore. It gets weeds and it gets crazy. So I think that would be our concern, that it's cared for from now until it starts producing. And I hope that maybe the community would get involved in helping with the maintenance of it.
Yeah, so and like I said, I'm happy to send you all over the plans of things I've thought through and all the holes of what happens if someone complains because now there's a beehive and my kids, all this stuff, homeless people, whatever. And trying to think about all of the, criticisms or cons, so to speak, of doing this. But ideally we would take control of it, or, manage it and keep things cleaned up. And I know not everybody likes to look at grass over, this tall, but leaving the grass a little bit taller, or letting other flowers, or even planting just a pollinator garden with, a variety of different things can not only, keep the wildlife in our community healthy, but also keep the soil healthy. Because when we keep it this tall, it doesn't have a chance to really grow and do anything. So
I really hadn't mentioned this to Lauren before, so I'm curious to know what Lauren thinks about it.
Chris and I have kind of communicated back and forth a little bit, and I think it's a great idea. A few things we need to consider. Right now we have all the IDNR lots. Residents are able to adopt them and apply that lot to, say, their homeowner's insurance. I think we would have to look at how we would handle the liability side. If we allow people on these IDNR lots with a tiller or something. So this may be a situation where you adopt all the lots you want to utilize.
Yeah.
You would add it to your business insurance or whatever, and we'd have to handle it that way. That's the only thing that comes to my mind. We'd have to worry about that. And then obviously, we can't put fence around. So is there any concerns with you and Chris and not having fence up around your gardens?
Not, I mean, in my mind, obviously, yes, there's going to be the naysayer on Facebook and the person that tramples through it and rides their bike through it or whatever. But in my mind, people will have the common decency to see what we're trying to do here. And in the first year, it's provide pumpkins, it's test the soil, see where it's at. We can have them at harvest days. If they, the soil test does come back, and I think those are like 30 or 60 bucks. Although Mike Tilster at the U of I said that that'd be something that, or not at the U of I, at the hospital, said that what he's doing through the U of I, they might be interested in testing all of them for free, just on them, because of he's trying to do the same thing with Bork Nurseries and all the land that the Grand Prairie Seminary has. And so, ideally, to your question, if someone doesn't want it there, and they really are adamant about it, then we don't do it there, and we move on. And if no one wants it anywhere, then I'll just keep it to my backyard, and whatever. But
I think the residents would be okay with it. I just want to make sure that you weren't expecting a fence, because we can't put a fence.
not
But
at
I think
all.
we could easily do like a T-post and a roped off area to at least, let people know that, okay, you aren't riding your bicycle through this lot anymore, whatever this case may be. But yeah, I think we could do something simple, because the big thing you can't put a fence on the IDNR lots, because you get debris up against it. Now all of a sudden water's not flowing across that lot anymore.
And
so
the
it
water
defeats
is
the
very high
purpose.
right now,
Yeah.
as it is. So it's,
Yeah,
we
Now,
wouldn't want that.
that, like a little 2-foot chicken wire fence, we're going down, what I'm thinking of as rabbits.
Well, and that's,
Can't-
Eric's already talked about that. You can't.
Well, I know we can't erect a fence, I just didn't know if they were just a temporary one, you could put a string around
I don't
the
even
garden.
think we
Think
can
so.
put like a raised garden bed, because that would be
No.
considered a permanent structure.
can't.
and they
So-
don't want anything that's going to block or impede water flow.
Right.
Right.
And I've noticed, and I've taken horticulture at KCC back in, right after high school, and then I've been doing it in the garden since I was 5 or whatever. And we had rabbits, we had fences, we didn't have fences some years. And with that particular issue, the more diverse you plant things, the more food there is for the rabbits to eat, the less likely they are to eat the food that you want them, for us. And from just a simple Native American saying, they like to keep 1/3 for us, 1/3 for the land, and 1/3 for the animals and things like that.
I
So-
think we have a pretty good variety of different lots. Other than DNR lots, we also have city-owned lots that aren't necessarily in a floodplain that I think that could be part of this.
And Eric sent over the list of the PDF of all the
Okay.
lots that are, and 6 or 8
Okay.
of them are non-DNR. And 10, 20 years from now, I would love to see 3, 4, 5 greenhouses, every single one of these lots producing food, flowers, whatever, and they're exported, outside of the city, outside of the county in bulk, because we're paying Walmart and Burcott's to import, produce and food into our community. And so I think that, long term,
Yeah.
starting something small, but.
Yeah.
Love your vision. Love to see more, as you develop the vision and share with it more. So
I would love to see them being utilized for something other than us mowing them, for sure.
That's what I was just gonna say. We're mowing and mowing and mowing and
I mean, I'll
anything to
I'll
mow
even till
anything.
them for you.
So
I
that's
don't
one of the
care.
documents.
Plant wildflowers, I don't care, just don't
So
mow it.
that's
We
one of the
talked about
documents
that
I have
before.
is trying to look at the square footage and the actual math of what can be grown here. And I've done the math on corn and soybeans and thousands of other plant species. What is the most valuable thing for this square footage, that we have, that we are currently spending money? And then if we can do something on a bigger scale, we can start, I'm assuming, generate revenue for the city,
Right.
I think the only thing the hurdle we need to figure out is if they would have to adopt the lots from us.
See, I think it's a great idea, but I'm more comfortable with you adopting the lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think on the legal side, we would just have to
Yeah.
confirm what we can and can't do as far as, are we allowed to let people do this? Is it gonna be against our insurance, or is it gonna
Yeah.
make more sense just to adopt them and you guys handle it? But if you're gonna run the program anyways, it's probably gonna be easier to just adopt them.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
turn them over to you, and you
And
have
then
full
plus it's
control.
yours anyway, so.
Right.
Absolutely.
They'd be happy to take them.
Cool. Would you guys like me to email you anything over?
Yes.
Or send it? I would
Yes.
print it, but it's like 30 pages, and I don't want to do that. But
Yeah,
I'm happy to
email
email. You
it.
can look at it however, at your
Email
leisure.
it to me.
Okay.
Yami will print them all off for us.
Yeah.
Can you email them to me and I'll print them off?
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Okay,
you guys.
thanks, Chris.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks.
thank you, Chris.
We love your vision, that's for sure.
Yep, keep it up.
Yeah, I think we're always looking for ideas with these lots. Unfortunately, we can't build on them, but yeah, if we can do gardens and people
Yeah.
are respectful and take care of them.
We talked about wildflowers on them and then it never went anywhere.
I think there was too many concerns that people weren't going to
Yeah,
You know,
take,
it was just
yeah, I
gonna turn
know.
into a wild mess and
Yeah.
complaints.
I did
Right.
forget to mention that in Princeville, North Carolina, a flood bought out town, built a 24-bed community garden center, or community gardens on its buyout land and held a grand opening, and it's already up and running. And then Cedar Rapids, Iowa, turned about 1,300 properties into a 130-acre community garden. So it's already being done.
Yeah.
You know, I think in the next 10, 20 years, this is the trend anyway.
We're gonna have to get community help on this, community support. And I don't mean monetary either, I'm meaning physical help. And care for it,
And
care
wanting,
for it,
and wanting to do it.
and wanting to do it, so. Thank you.
Is that all you got, Chris? Okay. Well, then we'll move on to Lauren over here for Public Works.
All right, council. No agenda tonight, unfortunately, due to lack of time. It's been a busy week. As you guys are aware, the storms hit pretty hard Thursday, so we've been hard at it since then.
You guys have done a great job, by the way.
I am
appreciate that.
Thank you
super,
for
super
everything.
grateful.
I hear nothing but kudos on, to voice and, personal and Facebook and the whole works.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same with me.
The guys are doing a
Saw-
stand-up job, so.
Even saw a sign in somebody's yard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah, so it was interesting Thursday night. You know, PD and the fire department, they were out assisting with traffic control, getting some caution tape out until we were able to get barricades out to do more of a permanent road closure. So it was a good team effort. And then we were out there pretty late getting roads opened up until Ameren obviously was able to remove some wires. So we had a couple roads blocked off over the weekend because Ameren they had their hands full. So it took them a while to get to some of these roads. But they did a good job. They got most of the power back up and restored by midday, late day Friday there. So they did a great job too. So Ameren, they really stepped up. So I think we had a good team effort across the county, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll be working on that the rest of this week. We've asked residents to get everything out to the street, that if they want us to pick it up by Friday, so that way we can get everything cleaned up. Unfortunately, we just don't have the manpower or time to backtrack for the next month, so that's why we asked everybody to get it out this week. We put that post out on Friday to give them a weekend and a week. As you guys are aware, the tree dump's pretty busy with us hauling in and residents hauling in and tree cutters hauling in. So we have had some burning here. We burned all day Monday. We had quite the mountain of brush out there, so the wind was in our favor, so we burned all day. Obviously, when you have that much burning going on, you're going to have a continued smoldering pile for a week, but it's not bad out there right now.
I will say, I was out there this afternoon and Jason was separating it for the night to try to keep it from.
Yeah, so we have a machine out there, so we've been trying to, he was out there, we were mending it all day yesterday, and we were out there today, so we are trying to be as mindful as we can with the smoke and things like that, but you run out of room pretty quick when you have a tornado come through town, so
Right.
Yeah, we appreciate all the residents trying to be mindful, getting everything out to the curb this week, so that way we can move on with other projects. Unfortunately, we do have a storm coming in tomorrow with strong winds. They're calling for about 2 inches of rain, so fingers crossed, maybe it'll go a different direction. But so we may be doing storm cleanup past this week, but we'll see. So that's hindering some of our other projects, but with the rain, kind of slows things down anyways. And unfortunately, locates have been a struggle with Nicor and their new locating company. So waiting for some more locates there on 2nd Street before we can break ground there. But you will see that start probably first of next week to start that project. Splash pad, the concrete was poured this last Tuesday. The concrete needs to cure before we can mount all the features, the uprights. The last thing we want them to do is rip out of the concrete. The electric's going to start next week as well, so I'm hoping within the next 2 to 3 weeks that will be completely done and up and being used. So that It'd be nice before the 4th of July, but that might be pushing it a little bit. The last thing we want to do is push that concrete. The pickleball court, we should be starting on the poles and the fence around it next week. The painting crew they gave me the okay that they'll get out there before July 4th. So the pickleball court should be up in operation before the 4th of July. So that'll be pretty exciting there. Roadworks, Oak Street is done. We need to do a final walkthrough. They did some restoration work there this week and last week. So that's in pretty good shape. I've heard some good comments from the residents along Oak Street. Pretty happy with that. You'll see Cherry Street had some repairs done today. Brand new road. Unfortunately, there was a structure that got missed as far as it should have been reconstructed during that road work. I'm not going to put any blame on anybody, but there was a couple parties that should have been brought to the city's attention during that work. It is what it is. IPC did a great job. They went out, they reconstructed the manhole for the reconstruction cost line item that would have been in the project, and then patched the asphalt for free, and then they also patched the asphalt on the other side of the street where we had a water leak for free. So they helped us out tremendously on that. So kudos to IPC on that one. Pretty happy with that. Wastewater plant. Oh, go
The
ahead.
manhole cover in front of Napa.
Manhole cover in front of Napa. That lid, for some odd reason, the frame was bent. There was an issue with where the lid kept kicking out. It kicked out twice. After the second time, I got IDOT's permission. We cut the manhole frame, replaced the manhole frame. We ended up concreting it in so we get the road opened up immediately. So that was a big improvement there, but that was a safety issue. IDOT allowed us to get in there and get that taken care of right away without a permit. So luckily nobody got hurt. The manhole lid actually ended up about 300 yards away from the manhole and actually went up over the railroad track. So luckily it went off the road and didn't stay on
Can't
the
even
road.
imagine
It
that.
could have been a bad
Can't
situation.
imagine that. That's crazy.
And how, there's really no rhyme or reason why that was kicking up the way it was, other than the frame was in bad shape. So luckily nobody got hurt. So wastewater plant, the check valves were replaced, the gate valves were replaced down in the basement. The motors were removed, sent to the motor shop. The repairs for those would be $8,000 a piece. They were from 1998. So I got a price on new motors. They're $11,500 a piece. I felt that it was operational. It's more of an emergency, a need. So I purchased 2 new motors. The $8,000 quote, that was before you actually tear into it. And if you find a bad shaft, that cost just goes up and up and up. So for $3,500, you might as well buy a brand new motor. Those are 30 horse motors. They're big motors. It's not like a little electric motor. So I have new motors ordered. They said 6 to 8 weeks. The repair time would have been about the same by the time they got the repair kits and had the motors rewound, if nothing else was found. So new motors ordered. Once they get in, we'll reinstall them. So that's moving forward there. So that basement is actually dry for the first time in probably many, many years, which is nice. When you go down there, you're not having raw sewage spraying at you, because that is what was happening before. So unfortunately, I myself and several of my guys have taken baths in raw sewage down there, because when the pumps kick on, you don't know it's happening, and all of a sudden your back's turned to it. Yeah, so that's really nice to have that dried up down there and able to work down there without raw sewage everywhere.
Remember, that's 3 stories down.
Yeah, so from the top of the handrail down to the floor is about, I think we measured up as 45 feet. So the guy's got a lot of steps in working on these. So, I think one guy commented he lost about 15 pounds on that project, so. And last thing on my list here is employees. We are fully staffed. We hired a person last week, already had his Class A CDL, so that was a plus. And then I'm going to put on the agenda for next week, we have another employee that just got his CDL this last month, so I'm going to put on there an increase for him. But other than that, that is pretty much all I have. Any questions on projects, current or future?
Just super grateful with what you guys do. I mean, you guys should look at my front yard. It was like a mountain tall of, of tree trunks, and they were all gone today, so I'm super grateful.
Yeah.
So I want to point out, I heard there was some criticism for a new truck, which I'm assuming that was our new dump truck that we've received in the last 2 months that we ordered a year ago. Thank goodness we have that, because we've had all 3 of those dump trucks rolling nonstop. So, you know, we need those trucks, and it was a critical truck to have at this time. So,
Yeah. Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments? Down that way?
I just want to say about the debris, picking up the debris. It's just storm damage, like limbs, not couches and car parts.
It's not
batteries.
Yeah, it's not sidings or roofs or.
While you're there.
I went to the city yesterday and some fence. I should just left it out front for you.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, it is only
Great idea.
limbs and
While you're
Good
there,
point. That's yeah.
throw a couch on and.
Just a reminder, it's
Yeah.
not clean out your house day.
Yeah. Good point.
Okay,
But you,
Thanks for all your work.
Thank you.
Lauren, I want to compliment everybody.
Yeah.
You got a real hard-working crew.
I just say,
Got a
I
lot
think
of
we have a
confidence.
fantastic crew right now, and
Not that
hopefully we want to, keep them happy, keep them here. So I think they're coming along, and they're learning the job. I think everybody's got a CDL, except for the youngest one. He'll have his once he hits 18 this summer. He's also a new hire. So yeah, everybody's doing well. I mean, getting trained up and good attitudes, and they're not afraid to do limb cleanup or water main breaks. We did have a water main break this last month out in front of by Kingdon's, and we ended up having to do a shutdown, a section replacement. So, sometimes you run across a water main break. There was already a clamp there next to the new hole. We clamped it. An hour and a half later, it broke again. So I wasn't going to put a third clamp on. We shut it down, replaced about 10 feet of water main. At that point, you got to do something more than just clamps. So, but, it was 12:30 at night when that broke the first time. So, yeah, I mean, the guys aren't bashful. They work all night, and I don't get any complaints out of them. They do a great job, so.
Do you do any like team building for them, like things that you guys do together?
Work.
Pick up sticks.
This last week they had a lot
Yeah, I
of
was
teams.
gonna say, yeah.
Right.
Our team building is late night work. I mean,
Right. Not that I want to be thinking this way, but the water obviously is very high. You just mentioned 2 inches that you're hearing tomorrow rain. Sand bags, all the lovely stuff
we
that
have
dealt
we
with.
have sand available. We have our equipment ready to fill sandbags. We have sandbags. They're not full, but if it starts coming, we're ready and geared up to start filling sandbags if need be.
Now, down by me, it's went down quite a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Quite a bit,
Good.
actually.
That's good.
it was actually a lot drier than everybody thought when
Yeah.
we did get that large.
Yeah, I'm not
rains.
worried at all if it rains. Good. Like I say, I can throw a rock in the river from my house. But, yeah, I'm not.
Good news.
If Charlie gets nervous, then we'll get nervous.
When it hits,
nervous.
when it gets up to the fire hydrant across the street from me,
Charlie's nervous.
Charlie's nervous.
then I get a little nervous. When Pam starts packing up, I'm like,
Yeah.
woohoo.
Thank
But
you,
no,
Lauren.
it's got a long way to go to
Good
get
news. Okay.
any flood.
Okay, I'll make a motion for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Start tilling some lots, Chris.